Hello, it's Christina from the Turned Leg, and I'm in Ohio. I've been dying to go thrifting in Ohio, and so here I am. Let's go see what I can find. When you walk right into this thrift store, there's a whole bunch of picture frames I like to check out. And the first thing I spotted was the sweet little sampler, which is going home with me. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see everything else I bring home. We are in a Salvation Army in Toledo, and I will put a list of all of the thrift stores that I visit in the description box below. There's lots of furniture, home goods, clothing. This store also has a lot of plus size clothing too. I love how the home goods are always organized by color. And I love the green area. Check out this USA vase. Such a pretty piece, only $1.99. I also spotted this lady who I thought was just a statue, but oh no, she had an extra little secret. She is also a planter. I'm always on the hunt for vintage glassware. There were two of these, and once again, there's another price on them, maybe from an antique booth, but the price from this store was 99 cents each. Here's an item I regret not picking up. It is like a little small miniature couch, vintage. Love the red velvet, love the worn feel. It was 20 bucks, so I'm always hesitant when things are pricey, but I don't think I would ever find another piece like this. And wouldn't it be pretty during the holidays too? Comment down below if you have regrets of things you didn't pick up. I sometimes think it's harder for me because I'm recording things, so sometimes items I think are not that great in the moment. I look back and go, oh my goodness, that was such a cool piece. In the furniture section, there were really nice rockers. These were around $22 each. I also spotted a table. I'm really looking for another good sturdy table. This one had been marked down to just under $15. And it was rock solid. It also had a leaf in it. It could go nice and small, which is an extra bonus. But the more I inspected it, the more I found a few flaws. The veneer on the top was quite damaged, so restoration would be quite tricky. Another beautiful piece with great legs and also at a great price, just under $15. I do have a similar piece in my booth, but it didn't pass the wobble test. One theme throughout all of the antique stores was I did find a lot of Depression glass. Extra bonus if you know what this little nose is used for. Comment down below. One of the things I'm always looking for when I go out thrifting are vintage dogs. They sell quite well for me. I also spotted this sweet little statue, and it looks as if someone has added black paint to the piece. So I decided to pass on this one, but there is a piece that I picked up a little bit later at a different thrift store that also had black paint added. I'm not sure why someone would do that, maybe just to personalize it. Have you ever seen anything like this at the thrift store? I was actually hoping to find like ceiling fixtures or chandeliers. This vintage lamp was only $14.99. Off to linens, I will say with the cooler weather, I've actually been selling quite a few handmade Afghans and quilts, so I was on the hunt to find a few more. Most of them were $4 or less. I was on my way to my next thrift store, but I had to take a look at all of the beautiful fall colors. I grabbed my cart and I headed right to housewares. Today I spotted a lot of items I have never seen before, and all were at really good prices. There were also some really high-end vintage items at pretty good prices. This amber set was only $14.99 for 6. There was even more depression glass. I got really excited for this jewelry box. I've been looking for an all gold one. Unfortunately, this one was a little wonky and very crooked. I also spotted some beautiful stoneware from Japan that I had just never seen before. I got out my phone, aren't we so grateful to be able to use it as a resource, and found out that it was getting pretty good prices online. But unfortunately, the set was not complete. There were cups, saucers, but not much else. And in Toledo, I can always find milk glass. They did have a few unique pieces. I also spotted restaurant ware platter, $1.99. And I spotted another dish set with great colors. This was the Mikasa Garden Club set, petunias. I checked out the lighting section. There were no chandeliers, but there was this pretty lamp for $9.99. Headed off to furniture next, still on the hunt for light fixtures. There was a floor lamp for $14.99, and then there was this hutch. This is the base of it. This is the top. The price of the hutch was just under $40, and 2 pieces is always a good bonus. And you know me and ugly upholstery, or at least that's what my mother calls it. I loved this green striped chair. I did inspect it more because it was only $20, but the wood was quite white, like it had water damage, so I decided to pass. And if you think that chair was bad, check out this set that was also available. I was kind of disappointed that the one on the right was already sold with the ottoman, but then I sat in the other chair and literally no springs here. You sit completely down on the floor. So not a problem that the other one was still available. I was not going to be taking it home with me. Now my visit turns to Goodwill stores in Toledo, Ohio, and I grabbed my cart to see what I could find. I headed first to the bins. These are the bins of things that have not really been put out yet. It seems to be a trend lately. Not thrilled with all of the dishes I see in the bins. They seem to get broken. I did find a pretty little purse in one of the bins, so there was a bonus looking through. This was a vintage basket purse in excellent shape. And in the furniture section, I did find some awesome fabric on a chair. I must not be the only one that loves this because this was also already sold. And I was off to Home Goods. I first stopped at their seasonal section. I have found some great vintage treasures here in the past, and they tend to not be as expensive as the rest of the store. I loved this nativity, but they were sold separately, so each piece was $1. I much prefer when nativities are sold as sets, don't you? I wouldn't want to be the one to break up the nativity set. And these were new stock, $5 each from Threshold. They were stone salt and pepper shakers. I think they'd be really good gifts too. And you know I'm going to search the vintage glasses. I found a really unique smiley face mug in red. I hadn't seen that before. The smiley mugs have been selling like crazy in my antique mall. I was almost tempted to pick this up. Unfortunately, it had a huge chip in the bottom. My next stop was another Goodwill, and oh my goodness, the power of a crowd and crowd shopping. This display, I did not get a picture of it, but when I walked in, it was like mobbed by a whole pack of women. They had just put out some really cool items, vintage and just home decor. And I think because so many women were just grabbing at things, it just made it look more appealing. Yes, I did grab something too. I picked up this sweet little tree, which I'm going to pop in my booth and see if it sells. And if it doesn't, I'm going to use it for my own holiday decor. And in the Christmas section, I found another nativity set that was being sold separately. Each piece was $1. I also discovered vintage angel heads, which I didn't even know that was a thing. Next stop was the furniture section, and over the years I have found a couple of treasures. Remember, I was looking for a table. There was a table there. It would fold down and it has leaves, but it did not pass the wobble test. I also spotted this fabric, and the prices continued with the small chest. This was $100. It was well made, but usually the top I would pay for something like this is $40 or less. And it was time to head home. It was also the perfect opportunity to enjoy all of the fall colors. Now let's take a look at the items I did bring home with me. This Christmas tree I paid $10 for because I was planning on keeping it for myself. I am pleased to say that it sold almost instantly in my booth at Plaza Antiques and Collectibles Mall in Lincoln Park, Michigan. I also love clocks, and I found these 3 for $1.99. They work. I loved the pink one. I also was fortunate enough to find a Lennox dish, which are great to sell during the holidays. This one was $3.99. And who doesn't love a genie lamp? This was a planter for $2.99. I also found this USA vase, which I loved the colors on, for $1.99. And remember the piece that I said was painted earlier on? There was black added to this too, but I loved the idea that it was a Lefton phone planter. Will people even remember what this really was in a few years? Out of all the animals that I sell, dogs always sell best, so I'm always on the hunt for some new dogs to put at the mall. And I couldn't pass up this corkboard in excellent shape. And this vintage rabbit, or whatever animal it is, does have a rustic vibe, but I believe it was a newer piece. And the nostalgia of the hand pump was also a cool find. All 3 of these roosters were found in a grab bag for $3.99. Just when you think the thrift haul is over, I found one more item I had to put out. I felt it was about time for a thrifting adventure back to Toledo. What do you think of my haul? I hope it's inspired you to get out there, to salvage, repurpose, and create. Thanks so much for watching.